Hey y'all, so this video is going to be a little bit different. I entered a month-long tournament for redfish, trout, and snook. I don't know if some of you have heard of the IFA back in the day. Well, they kind of came back and they were doing some month-long online tournament. So I said, you know what? I'm down here in Fort Lauderdale. I know a good snook spot. I have my inshore spots up north. Let me give it a try. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So the first trip, I decided, you know what, let me go for a snook, because that's going to be the hardest out of the three. And the way I look at these slam tournaments is I only go for one species per trip. So if it's a red trout snook, I'll have one trip dedicated to snook, one dedicated to trout, one dedicated to redfish. That way you can maximize the fish that you get. So let's say you get a 32-inch snook, you can upgrade it throughout the day and not have to worry about the other two fish. So that's kind of how I see these tournaments. I've done very well doing that, just because it's a little bit easier that way, and you can kind of be laser focused instead of thinking, oh, I gotta go look for a red or look for a trout, or even stopping for reds and trout along the way when your focus is snook. But started out with snook, went to one of my spots down here, and you can use bait in this tournament, but I had the intention of going out netting some mullet, using the mullet, but I brought a topwater just in case. And I tried to catch mullet, wasn't happening. So I said, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to throw topwater. Had a big topwater and was just bombing it. And I knew the snook were there because I saw one actually was floating on the surface and had its tail out in like 10 feet of water. So I knew they were there, was throwing topwater, had a few real good follows that I'm sure were big snook. And then this happened. So I missed the fight on video, but she really didn't fight. She kind of just hit the topwater and just kind of came in. But she was barely hooked. Yeah, baby. As you can tell, I'm kind of excited because I knew that snook would be the tough fish out of the three for me. So this was a huge relief. Now for this tournament, we have to take a picture of them on a measuring board, another picture kind of like a selfie style or a trophy picture with the fish, and a release video all in the app. So it's going to be a little bit tough to get used to, but I try and do my best throughout the video to do it all quickly. He was barely hooked. Hook is out. On the topwater, baby. So I was a little unprepared here because I didn't have the app open or anything, but I did my best to get it all ready as quick as possible. On top of that, we had to like check in on the app. Just completely was not thinking I would get a snook first try. And the gamble I took when I was doing all this is I never checked any of the photos and really couldn't check the release video because obviously you have to release the fish. I didn't check any of that till after I kind of got to shore. So if I botched any of this, I would have been kind of screwed. Luckily, this water is a bit cold, so there's enough oxygen for these fish to survive. So after that fish, I knew, okay, a 39-inch snook, I don't have to upgrade that throughout the entire month. And this was early on, like 4 days in. So, okay, next is the trout. And there was a small window this month for trout, and I knew, okay, I'm going to dedicate one day going up north and just looking for a big trout. So I went up north, went to my first spot in the afternoon. I got up there, it was like a day and a half. I went up there, fished the afternoon, got like a 17-inch fish. Nothing huge, but it was a fish. But the second day, conditions were right in the morning. The only downside was it was like 30 degrees out. And I've never fished my areas in 30-degree weather, so I didn't know how the trout would react. Moral of the story is they didn't react. I spent all morning throwing topwaters, nothing. There was redfish tailing, drum tailing. You know, it was just a bunch of other fish that I didn't need. And towards the end of the bite window, I decided, you know what, let me catch one of these tailing fish. And I ended up catching a small drum. Didn't get video of that just because, you know, I was pissed off at this point. After that, I said, you know what, it's not happening here. Let me go back to the spot that I got the 17-inch trout, because on the way out, I spooked some nicer fish. 2 that were 18 to 20 and 1 that was mid-20s. So I knew they were there. And this spot didn't know they were there. You know, it was kind of just on a whim. but historically it's produced big trout. So went there, decided, after an hour of fishing, I'm going to pack up and make the trek back to the truck and just go relaunch. Went to relaunch, and I did have some mullet because I was going to fish at night, but decided on not to. So I had these from the day before, or the night before. And after that, I got to the spot, set up for the afternoon bite window. Nothing. Was leaving, and again, I spooked another mid 20-inch trout out. So I said, you know what? I'm going to back off. I'm going to set up a mullet and wait. And waited about 10-ish minutes, and then this happened. So I didn't get it on video because I was concentrating on catching the fish.
Oh my god, I'm shaking. Dude, this is what I love about tournaments.
As you can tell, I'm psyched about catching this fish.
I knew there was one in here. Kept coming back. Finally got two. Oh, this is what I needed.
It's not the biggest trout I've ever caught, and pretty far from it, but doing tournaments make fish like this matter a lot.
This is what I needed. Gotta love tournament fishing.
So you can see this fish is still very lively. It's because she didn't have much of a chance to fight. She came next to the kayak and thrashed on the surface, and I was able to net her pretty quickly.
What a fish. What a fish, dude. That's a nice trout.
So at this point, I have a 25-inch trout and 39-inch snook. I did get a 25-inch red as bycatch. Um, I don't have video of that, simply because I knew this wasn't going to be my final redfish. But I knew I was sitting in good shape because that's a nice trout. It's a nice snook. I just need a redfish. And I have a ton of spots where I can get 30 to 40 inch reds. So I said, you know what? Let me come back up here. Because, I mean, I caught that trout in a nick of time. It was like, pretty much was ready to leave and say, okay, 17-inch snook, or 17-inch trout, that's the best thing I'll get. But, sometimes it's better to be lucky. And came back up, went to again, I had 2.5 days. So in the afternoon when I came up, I needed a 33-inch red just to be sitting pretty in first overall. And I was like, okay, it's no big deal. I get out there, and first red I get of the trip is 32 1/4. Got a nice one on. About a 30. Definitely an upgrade. So I kind of stood here just because I was keeping him away from the bow of the kayak. He kept on trying to go under it. And we secured I would say 30. It's a nice fish. A little bit bigger than 30.
32 and a quarter.
Sometimes the tail just won't stay. Luckily, these redfish, this time of year when the water's colder, they're a little bit more hardy.
For the gram. Nice fish.
So I was like, okay, there's first. I think I actually needed like 32 inches or 30 inches, but 32 and a quarter, head first. So after that, I was like, okay, anything else is icing on the cake. Came back to the spot the next day. Actually, I went to a very well-known spot for big reds in the morning. Wasn't happening, didn't get anything. There was a ton of weeds on the surface. It was tough to soak a bait. So I said, you know what? Let me go back to the spot where I got my 32. I know I can get like a 35, 36 if I just grind it out. And packed up everything, went to the, the first spot in the afternoon. This fish decided to hit at the worst possible time for me. I was taking off my jacket, my what's it called? My sweatpants, And
It's funny.
next thing I know, as I'm
Pissed
taking
off
off my
at the
jacket,
28-inch red.
rod just starts dumping.
Might be bigger. We'll see. He might be bigger. Might be a 33. Nice fish. Little H. Let's say.
So that was a 33.
Oh, bigger. That's an upgrade. So you guys missed the fight.
Shortly after that,
Got an upgrade.
made a move. And I mean, immediately, first bait gets hit. This dude decided to eat it.
Fat, chunky red. Yeah, that's what we're coming out here for. Probably about a 34. Great upgrade.
So after that, I knew I was sitting pretty. The following day, went out to look for a 40-incher in a different spot where my buddy got a 41, lost a bigger one the day prior, or 2 days prior. But no luck there, struck out. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to have fun, played with a bunch of smaller fish. Because I knew, like, if it's not going to happen in that spot, it's just not going to happen. So salvaged the day and ended up getting first. I'll put the picture somewhere here. And yeah, I mean, that's how you have to look at these tournaments. It was pretty good fishing, but I was looking for one bite all day long for all 3 fish. It's a grind. It's not, you're not putting up numbers, you're looking for quality over quantity. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.